And
I'm way more interested in that. So tell me about what some of the one-on-one fights were.
So I recommend
you said
them.
The Thing versus Namor.
So the Thing versus Namor was very fun.
Is Namor an X-Men? Because in this Avengers vs. X-Men, he's an X-Men.
He's an X-Men, but if you go into X-Men Grand Design that I just was talking about in the Recent and Decent, he floods New York City. He's a bad guy. He is the rottenest. Yeah. But, these things ebb and flow. He's a bad guy.
In the Aquaman world.
No, he is Aquaman's equivalent in the Marvel world.
Okay. But he's like the king of the
King of Atlantis. Underwater business, yes. But he's a nasty character. He's a bad guy. And nobody likes him.
But he's technically an X-Men.
But in this world, he's technically an X-Men, which is nuts.
So,
but Larry, ebbs and flows.
What is the difference between an Avenger and an X-Men?
So I think that the X-Men are mutants.
Okay.
And Avengers are built.
Oh, interesting.
So they've been changed by those things that change people. Like Daredevil's been radioactive. The Thing went into space and came back a Thing. Red Hulk, radioactive. Tony Stark augmented himself. Thor came from the planets. Spider-Man changed, but mutants are born mutants.
Well, that's interesting because that also makes sense why Wolverine and Beast are on that in-between line.
Oh, because they've been touched, right, yeah.
Because they've kind of got a little bit of both going on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's very cool.
Because like Beast did that thing to himself, and Wolverine had the adamantium added to him.
Right, but I mean, I don't think Wolverine should be should be an X-Men. He should be more the other direction because he's been built more than he's been augmented.
But he still had his healing power.
Oh, maybe that's okay, yeah. There you go. That's why he's on the line.
So he's on the line. So Larry, you got to tell me about some of these battles because I'm going to pull up the Avengers vs. X-Men.
So there are 6 or 8 or 10, maybe 12 of these battles, and they are super fun. So the first one is Iron Man versus Magneto, and you would think it'd be a done deal, but Iron Man.
You'd think Magneto couldn't choose an easier person to battle.
But he gets nanotechnologies, so he's not magnetic. He's got like carbon fibers. He's not Iron Man. Invincible Iron Man.
I do really like some of the art around when he does the nano stuff, and it slowly is fading off of his face, or he's in that transition. There's some really cool art that comes out of that.
Yeah, it's really fun art, and he uses, and he's smart, right? And he's super rich. So he's got satellites in the air, and he can pull the power of planets' gravitational pulls. And I'm going to spoil it for you. Iron Man beats Magneto.
Wow, that's cool.
And I'm going to spoil another one. Thing beats hell on Namor. In an underwater battle. They battle underwater? And Thing still wins. All because...
So how strong is Thing?
Well, that's the kind of a fun thing, because with each one of these, they give you these little fun facts, and one of Thing's punches is the equivalent of a car, like a Mack truck, coming at you at 52 miles an hour. So there are all these fun facts, like Magneto drops a building on top of Iron Man, Tony Stark, and it gives you the full weight of the building.
Oh, I love those kind of details.
Yeah, so
you can take that and then be like, well, what if Magneto fought Namor? Who would win then? and you can be like, well, he can lift this thing and the other guy can lift that thing, or, one of the things I loved about the Avengers movie was the kind of back and forth about who's the strongest Avenger.
Oh yeah, when they're having the cocktail party.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, I can lift Thor's hammer, or whatever, whatever it is.
Well, I have to say this. Looking at this map of what happens in this first issue of X-Men or Avengers versus X-Men, the one that you read, this is the title book. The other one that I read is an offshoot, a money grab. The guys in the club just like, well, salesman saw you coming.
Yep.
Take my money, please. But this looks really one-sided. I mean, like, look how many X-Men there are, and there are only a couple. Well, look how many Avengers there are, and look how many X-Men there are. There are only 5 or 6 X-Men. There's Cyclops, Hope, Emma Frost. Ooh, I love Emma Frost. Magneto, and Colossus, and Namor. And they're all strong, heavy hitters.
Yeah, although I don't necessarily Cyclops has his eyes, but it seems like he's probably the weakest of the whole group, if I were to make a guess.
Yeah, so going forward into the one-on-ones, I think Emma Frost and Thor fight.
Uh-huh.
I went forward in it. Emma Frost and Thor fight. Magneto, I keep calling him Magneto. Magneto and Iron Man fight, and he wins. Namor and Thing fight, and he wins. And Thing fights again, and I can't remember who he fights.
They gave Thing 2 battles.
2 battles. That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Because Larry, if you were to choose like your X-Men versus Avengers battles, what ones would you want to see?
Oh,
like I would think I would want to see like Hulk versus Thing.
Hulk versus Thing, but they're on the same team.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Darn it. Well, okay, so I think what would I want to see?
Yeah, big guy against big guy is always fun. Heavyweights.
Yeah. But then I do like the Spider-Man. I'm looking at this Spider-Man versus Colossus.
Yeah.
And I do like the Spider-Man doing the jump around and going underneath the guy and then jumping on his head and throwing the web in his eyes.
Yeah,
but I can't. But who won in that one?
I don't know. I can't remember. I only flashed forward a couple times. So what happens in this X-Men versus? Because I kind of remember that. So is it resolved in the first issue? I don't think it will be.
No, it's not. But it lays the groundwork really well for. It makes sense why the X-Men are on one side and the Avengers are on the other side, and there's it gives a decent amount of characters their motivations. It establishes a bunch of different characters. The whole Nova stuff, I'm not really that familiar with, but it was really intriguing about how the protectors of the universe. I like the Avengers stuff because it does big scale and small scale at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like this Avengers X-Men is all big scale.
Yeah.
I don't imagine Hawkeye doing a lot of work.
Yeah, Hawkeye he's street level.
Yeah. Although Spider-Man did do a good move of when Nova crash landed on Earth, he went through an airplane or something, or he went through the Chrysler building, and Spider-Man threw a big web to catch all the people that were falling.
Oh, I just saw that picture. Yeah,
it's a pretty good image.
Yeah, I think this art is simple. Mm-hmm. I don't know who did this art, but I love this. I kind of like it when they just do it easy like this. When they don't over-render.
It's easy to follow.
Yeah.
And the characters are distinct enough. Yeah, I actually really like the art.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this at all.
It's pretty actually... it's similar to your X-Men Avengers in that kind of simplicity.
Oh, did you dial it up?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now because now I'm looking at Colossus versus Thing. Okay, that's the big guy matchup I was looking for.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Punches versus hard-hitting punches. A versus X fun fact. The blue area is the only place on the moon with oxygen to breathe.
There you go.
Oh.
Isn't that... aren't the fun facts fun?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I didn't know you could not breathe. Or I would have guessed that neither of those guys needed to breathe.
So I'll dive it back into the X-Men versus books. And like I said, these are one-offs, and each book gives you 2 big matchups. The first one, Invincible, Iron Man, Magneto, Thing versus Namor. And they were the Thing versus Namor one was super fun.
That was your favorite one.
Thing is so witty. He talks about putting Namor in a tuna can, and it's just so funny.
Oh, nice.
You know, like when they're just smack talking during the fight, it's great. And then the next one is Spider-Man versus
Colossus.
And Iron Gambit and Captain America. So
I don't see that one.
Oh, wait a second. It's Spider-Man versus Colossus, Captain America versus Gambit, and then I'll just jump forward here.
Black Widow versus Magic.
I saw that one. Yeah, I have all these in hard copy somewhere. That cover and the covers are lame. I have to say these covers could have been done so much better.
Yeah, I agree with that. The art it's like they did the same art on the inside as they did on the cover, and this probably would have been one of those exceptions where I would have liked the cover to be another level up. Because I think the simple is good for the action. Because the whole thing is action, and sometimes action doesn't play like if the whole thing is one type, then I don't know. I think it worked well.
I think because they have 2 fights in each book, they kind of lost something. Maybe if they just made versus Avengers versus X-Men smaller and put like that just the heading, and then put like all this action. Like you don't care what's going on inside the book. What happens on the cover? You know, like these guys could be fighting in the same realm, but like put all the characters together. You know, this looks thrown together is what the problem I have with all of these covers.
Well, yeah, I could almost just see each issue being one battle would probably be better because they have to split the cover between 2 different battles. And I think what's cool about these issues, as I'm scrolling through them, is they all have cool locations. Like fighting underwater, or fighting on the moon, or fighting in a city, or whatever it is. And that part isn't represented on the cover like at all.
Right. Yeah, somebody gave the information earlier, and who is that? Oh, that's there's the Emma Frost and then there's another fight with who I know that there's another one with there's Black Panther and Storm. And Hawkeye versus Angel. Big deal.
So
I don't know who Angel is.
Yeah. They had to dive deep to find an X-Men who's as powerful as Hawkeye. But to me, the one-on-one battles of Avengers vs. X-Men is way more interesting or cool than the whole group versus the whole group. So I do think that the one that I read, the one with Jason Aaron and Jonathan Hickman, has more potential for like a really good story. But if you wanted just like a quick, easy, fun read, or like that fantasy indulgence of like, if you had a favorite character and I had a favorite character and they both fought, we would have to read that comic. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and to call back to the beginning of this book, it actually has a question and answer, and they like even make you like feel like dumb, like what did we already tell you? That's what this book's about. Punching up and getting it done. And then they have